Hey guys, I know it's been a while. I haven't made a video in quite some time, and if you guys have been looking at my YouTube shorts, I've been doing Amazon work. So this video, as it says in the title, I'm going to explain the stuff for Amazon and see whether or not it works for you or your company. In this video, there's going to be parts, and I'm going to try to label them all in the chapters so that you can just skip to various things. That way you know. In this first part, it's going to be the requirements of Amazon Relay. Amazon Relay has specific requirements in order for you to do it. First thing that you need is you need a vehicle. You need a truck or you need a box truck. You can have a trailer. There are ways that you can use a trailer if you have one, but I'll get into that a little bit later. The second thing that you need is you need to actually form a business, whether that's an LLC, an S Corp, C Corp, proprietorship, partnership, doesn't really matter. You need to form some sort of business, and it has to be formed, and it can be whatever name you want to make it, obviously mine, but it can be whatever name you want to make it. The next thing that you need, or the third thing, is you need a DOT number. You need to apply for a DOT number from the FMCSA, and that determines your business for trucking, right? That's so that you can, be recognized by that number. The fourth thing, which is a kind of an important thing, and has two things with it, is you need an MC or an authority number. Now, this MC or authority number also means that you need to have insurance. As a general practice, I would say that you need to also get general liability insurance. That way that when people try to sue you for wrongdoing in your trucking company, you have that insurance to fall back on, especially if you're a sole proprietorship, because a sole proprietorship is just you. It's not a business entity. You are now a business entity. So I would recommend getting general liability, because you never know what's going to go wrong in the trucking industry. You never know. Someone can swerve out in front of you and then they can try to take you for all you're worth. But the industry standard policy for commercial truck driving is a 1 million, 3 million policy. So a 1 million, 3 million policy is that per every accident, the insurance will cover up to $1 million. And the 3 million is that in the year that you have your insurance, you can do that 3 times. So that's what a 1 million, 3 million policy is, or it's a 1 million, 3 million aggregated policy is sometimes what it is called. But with that insurance and that authority number and everything, you need to have that insurance and the authority number for Amazon for a minimum of 6 months. Minimum. They will not take you if you have a 1-month authority. The next thing that you need is an ELD device, something that tracks your hours of service and that is a good reputable company. FMCSA, DOT, they're cracking down on these joke brands of ELD devices. So you need to get one from a reputable company. If you do not get one from a reputable company and you get the cheapest one that you can find on Amazon, you're going to pay for it. Like, it's not a cheap ticket. So I would really recommend that you get a reputable brand. And I believe that there's a resource somewhere where you can look at the reputable brands that are recognized both by the FMCSA and by DOT. Because when you do Amazon Relay, you're going to be using some sort of tablet or device, maybe a phone, to actually do the Amazon Relay so that you can actually do your loads and potentially book contracts and all that other stuff. I'll get into that later. But once you get all those things, you're ready for Amazon Relay. You're ready to go into the onboarding process. Now, again, the 6-month thing for the insurance, that's a lot of time and a lot of money. So you're probably going to have to do what I did, where I was doing loads in the meantime to make money, to still have the operating authority and all of that. It's going to be difficult, but once you get there, I think that it's going to be worth it. But, we'll get into the other portion of the video. All right, so the next part is I'm going to be discussing the types of work that you can get on Amazon Relay. You've gotten everything good. You got 6 months of authority. You got your DOT number. You got your truck. You got everything is good, right? ELD device, all that's good. And you have an Amazon Relay account and you are starting to go through onboarding. I'm going to tell you the types of work, even though the onboarding process is going to tell you the types of work. I'm just going to go through it with you right now. The first type of work, which is the simplest type of work, is the load board itself. The load board can contain both one-ways and round trips and tours and stuff like that. So when you look on the load board, you will see something like, you'll say whatever, and I'll put some examples on the screen here. I will tell you where you're starting. It'll tell you where you're going, how many number of stops that there are, and it will tell you, obviously, the 11th commandment, how much you're getting paid for that work. Because everyone wants to know how much you're getting paid for it. And it will even tell you a mileage per mile breakdown. Now, on some of those loads that you see, you can also edit the start times of those loads when you look into them, so that way that it fits your schedule a little bit better. But you can't do that on all of them, only some of them. The second type of work is the work that I'm currently doing right now, which is contract work, or I call it block work. So with these contracts, you can get several different block layouts, and they can be full weeks, partial weeks, stuff like that. So you can get 4-hour blocks, 8-hour blocks, 13.5-hour blocks, 37-hour blocks, 109-hour blocks solo, and 109-hour blocks team. With block work and contract work, oftentimes they will make you try to work for a week worth of work. So the contract work that I'm doing now is 5 13.5-hour blocks. I have tried a 37-hour block before. I didn't really like it too much, and I'll go into that later, but that is what I am currently doing right now for Amazon work, as I'm doing 13.5-hour blocks. And you can schedule these in advance, which that's why I like that so much. You can literally show up. It gives you a time frame when you assign these contracts or blocks of work, and I'll show again examples. You can literally book them months in advance sometimes. You can just have work for whatever. Most of the time, I get almost 7 to 8 weeks of work at a time when I'm booking contracts. So that's about 2 months worth of work that I don't have to worry about. I literally just show up at the time that they state, and then I go and do it. The last type of work that I'm going to be talking about, this is for the people who are already established, that have a number of units in their operation. It is auction work. So how auctions generally work, Amazon is reaching out to companies, third-party companies such as myself, and telling them what they need in order to get a specific contract that they booked with another logistics company, right? They're going to tell you what they need. Sometimes it'll pop up. It will say like this many loads per week is usually how it dictates it. So it'll say this many loads per week. So it'll be like 7, 10, 14, 25, whatever it is. And then you have obviously a week to do those 14 loads. And it can be literally from anywhere. It can be from Salt Lake to Texas. It can be from Arizona to Indiana. Like, it can be from anywhere. This is where this type of work differentiates itself from the previous two types of work. The previous two types of work, Amazon is telling you how much money you're getting for it. With auctions, you bid to see whether or not you'll get that auction contract. That's the main difference between them. This is for a bigger company. This is not for a single tractor unit operation. That is not what it's for. It's for people who have multiple tractors and multiple trailers, because sometimes they want you to have your own trailers. So it's not necessarily for the small company. Those are the types of work that you can book with Amazon. When you first start out, with Amazon Relay, you are going to only be able to do the first type of work. You're only going to be able to do very simple one ways or round trips. That's all you're going to do, or tours. That's all you're going to be able to do, unfortunately. But eventually you will be able to book contracts once you get, I think it's about 10 to 15 loads under your belt. So the reason why they want to do 10 to 15 loads with you on the load board before you can book contracts is, one, because they want to see if they can trust you, and two, they are generating your scorecard. So Amazon has a scorecard, and I'll put it on screen. There's 4 metrics on there. There's on time, acceptance, safety, and app usage, I think, is something along those times. The one that you're going to be mostly focused on, at least if you're like me, you show up early, you do all the necessary steps that you need to with the app, and you don't have any disruptions, and you contact ROC when you have disruptions. And we'll get into ROC, but anytime that you have a delay and you report it on the app, if you do all that stuff and you don't worry about it, acceptance is going to be the hardest thing that you're going to be dealing with. And the reasoning why is because Amazon does not have foolproof features. You have to do everything in your head and figure everything out with your schedule. So a good case in point is that, say that you book a load and it goes from 8 o'clock at night till 1 o'clock in the morning. We'll say something along those lines. It's 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and it ends at 1:35. If you know for a fact that you're going to be done before 1:35 in the morning, and you try to book something for midnight, Amazon literally won't let you. It gives you a certain amount of time before it will just straight up cancel on you. And if you know that you can't book it and you cancel, that's what brings your acceptance score down. Because they want you to, whatever work that you book, they want you to do it. And the problem with that is that they don't give you any flags about, hey, this conflicts with your schedule. So that's what I mean by you keep it all in your head that when you book an 8 to 1:30 in the morning and you're trying to book a midnight one that starts at midnight, ends at say 4 o'clock in the morning, you can't book that. You have to keep it in your mind that I can't book that. That's one of the things that I would say is that when you're building out your night or building out your schedule, just make very sure that the next thing that you have lined up does not conflict with your schedule on Amazon's side, even though you know that you're going to be early. Because for me, generally, by the end of the night, I am 2 to 3 hours early. I will get done 2 to 3 hours early. In general, it is a good practice to really, really make sure that the loads that you're booking do not conflict with your schedule. That way that you can keep your acceptance score as high as possible. I'll go into the reasoning later why you want to keep that acceptance score as high as possible. Now, one of the things that you guys might be wondering is with how this is going to work in the time frame. So in my local area, I live in Utah, in my local area, it is better to operate at night as opposed to the daytime. And so most of my contracts that I have are for nighttime. For instance, today, as I'm recording this video, I have a contract that I'm doing, and I have to start at 8 p.m. tonight, and I'm going to go until about 5 to 9 o'clock in the morning. That's what my contract is booked out for. Now, originally, when I started with Amazon, because I was driving during the day, as you guys saw in my previous videos, I was driving during the day. And I was thinking that I could do the same thing with Amazon. In my local area, it doesn't make any sense to do anything during the daytime. I just won't get enough money. Trying to book out work for daytime, I can't do it months in advance. I can only do it day of or day before. So that's why daytime work doesn't really work for me. Nighttime work works for me because I can book them out for months and months at a time. So what the scorecard is, like I said earlier, there's 4 things, and I'll put them up on screen right now. The reason why it's so important to keep your scores high is because you actually get benefits from keeping your score high. I will show you right now these benefits and they work based on what your lowest score is. So for me, as you can see, my lowest score is about 90%, and that's my acceptance rate is the lowest score. Everything else is right around 100. But the way the Amazon scorecard system works is that it takes your lowest possible score, and that's what determines your score in general. These rewards that you see are based on obviously your score and how many executed miles you do and how many drivers that you have in certain cases. These rewards can lead to promotional offers. They can lead to priority disputes so that you get on the top of the queue for disputes, like payment disputes, schedule disputes, stuff like that. And if you get your score high enough, you can actually get priority office hours, which I don't exactly know what that is, but you can get that as well. You can also get exclusive booking offers that only show up for you before everyone else, which is a good thing. Say that you're trying to build out your night and then all of a sudden you see a booking offer that has a star next to it. That's only for you. No one has seen it yet. The other thing that I have not seen is that you also get Amazon swag. Don't know what that entails, but you can also earn that. And like I said before, the higher your score, the more work is opened up to you. You actually have to have a minimum score in order to open up contracts. You have to have a minimum score of about a C+ or a B in order to have the contracts open up to you. If you have a higher score than that, then you can get to the contracts earlier. That way that you can book stuff before other people can. All right, so in this section of the video, we're going to talk about the pros of working with Amazon. One of the biggest ones that people are going to be drawn towards is how stable is the work? The work is very stable. Everyone orders things from Amazon. It is basically a staple inside the home. So that's one of the reasons why I did it, is because I knew for a fact that it was going to be very stable work. I didn't know the capacity in which that it was going to be stable. I didn't know if it was going to be stable locally or if I was going to go out across the nation and it would be stable that way. It's very stable work, very, very stable. There has not been a night where I haven't seen anything on that load board that isn't worth taking. Now, you have to make smart decisions when you take Amazon work locally. You have to make very smart decisions. You cannot make dumb decisions. You don't want to accept everything as it is. You want to plan your nights accordingly. That way that you make the money that you need to make for your business. Okay. You don't want to just willy-nilly like, oh yeah, sure, I'll start at midnight, or oh yeah, I'll start at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You want to make sure that you have specific times in which you start, and that way that you can end at specific times and get the maximum amount of money for your business. Also, for load rates, for locally, they have pretty decent load rates, honestly. They're actually better than long haul from what I'm seeing. I know that there's probably some flatbed guys that get $4+ a mile, and there's, various industries that get more per mile, but the average mileage rate for local loads that I'm doing right now is about $3.50 a mile. That's the average. So some of them are super high. Some of them are really high. They're about almost $5 a mileage rate. But some of them are really low. They're about like 100 and, they're about $1.50 a mile. It all depends on what you do. So that's why I say it's really key that you plan. One of the other benefits about working with Amazon is that they actually even offer you benefits, not like healthcare, but they offer you discounts on things. So like mechanical work, tires, child health or child care, parking, even like for your truck. They offer a wide cornucopia of discounts that you'll need. And I've actually taken advantage of some of those discounts. One of the reasons why my truck was down was because of safety. I had to get tires replaced, and I literally saved 20 to 30% on my tire purchases. My semi right now has 10 brand new tires on it. Well, not brand new. 8 of them are recaps and 2 of them are brand new, but still I saved 30% on those tires because of working with Amazon. And again, they also offer parking, because I know that sometimes that might be a bit of an issue for people, is parking. I've had some parking issues like you've seen on my channel before, and they offer different deals with, say, Outpost and various other parking outfits. For those of you with children, childcare can be kind of a big deal, because you can't necessarily go out for 3 weeks or 4 weeks without having mom or grandma or auntie, uncle, whatever, watching your child, or even your significant other watching your child while you're out running. And if you're going locally, that might change, because they'll be like, well, you're local, so childcare is now your responsibility. They offer some discounts with childcare. There's a lot of other stuff, and I'll just list it real quick here. I'll go through the rewards section and you can see, but there's a lot of other stuff. One of the other things, the 11th commandment, how am I getting paid? When am I getting paid? Amazon has a very strict pay schedule. And I'm going to tell you what that pay schedule is, because it doesn't say it anywhere in the onboarding. I had to find out through various FAQs in Amazon, buried real deep in their documentation. So every single work week starts at Sunday at 12 a.m. Right? So you start Sunday, that's your work week. That's the start of your work week, is Sunday. It ends Saturday at 11:59. That's your entire work week. So it's literally a week. So if you start on Sunday and you're doing stuff from midnight to 11:59 Saturday, say that you end right at 11:59 Saturday, we'll make it easy. You end right at 11:59. You will get paid the following week on Wednesday. That's when the payment will actually go out. An invoice will be generated for the week of work, and sometimes 2 invoices are generated. When you have a contract and I do load work or load board work still, I get 2 invoices that are generated on Tuesday and Wednesday morning for the week or the work that I did the previous week. So, but that is when your stuff starts. So another pro is that when you're going to these facilities, especially like me, I visit the same facilities basically every single night. I get to know the people that work at these facilities. They're called yard marshals. You're going to get to know them very well, especially if you're local to your area. You'll get to know them very, very well. You will have interactions with them, and from my experience, they are very, very good people. I've had a couple of run-ins, but they have been smoothed over since. They're very good people. They're willing to work with you if you're willing to work with them. One of the facilities that I go to, every time that I go there, or if a certain person is working there, I'll ask them, do you need an empty trailer moved? Because not every single facility has a yard hostler. The big facilities will have yard hostlers, but the small facilities where they're package warehouses, where they go out and distribute the Amazon packages themselves, they will not have yard hostlers because their yards are just simply too small. So that's one way of building up rapport with people. You want to build up rapport with these people because they can make your life either really easy or really hard. So you want to have a good relationship with those people. This next section is going to be the cons. Just like with everything that sounds good, there's always stuff that comes that's bad. There's never anything that's 100% good. Amazon is no exception of that. And a lot of people will say that they don't like Amazon and all this other stuff. But I will give a very shortened description of everything that I've had qualms with, we'll say. So the main support for Amazon Relay is called the Amazon Relay Operations Center, or it's just called the Relay Operations Center, or in short, ROC. When you're working at night, when you're reporting issues and whatever, you're going to be dealing with these people at a call center for ROC, especially if you're working at night. This is one of the reasons why I have so many issues with it, is that at night, their operations center goes from being in Arizona to being in India. Now, there's a lot of people that do not have the, like, it's very difficult to understand them. That's the first thing that I'll say, is that they speak very quickly. They have very forced accents, very heavy accents, and it's hard to understand what they're actually saying sometimes. And I'll show you a couple of clips, very shortened versions of what I'm exactly talking about between phone calls and between AI gates, which I'll get into here in a minute.
Yeah, thanks for being on hold. So the load is not ready. So hence we are detouring that we are ready. Hence we are verbally releasing it.
Okay.
Is there anything else apart from this issue?
No, that should be it.
Post this call, it will be routed to your survey. Please share your valuable feedback to me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Have a
Yep.
great day. Bye bye.
Yep.
Bye bye.
With Quebec Papa 3 Papa, what is the issue with this?
Hello?
Arusi, how are you? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, this is Adya from Amazon Arusi. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I got this callback request regarding this load ID ending with 6S Kilo Romeo, right?
Just to touch on the people who are working at the Relay Operations Center, the reason why they have they're speaking so quickly is I'm fairly certain, I'm not 100%, but I'm fairly certain that their stuff is based on efficiency. They need to be able to get on and off phone calls very quickly and solve problems very quickly. Sometimes that means not solving your problem at all, and they do not care. One of the things that I'm talking about where you have to converse with these people is the AI gates. So AI gates are these really nice things where you roll up, it has several different cameras looking at your vehicle, the trailer, and it's getting a bunch of different types of information. So it's getting your tractor number or your license plate, and that's how it identifies what your tractor is, or the vehicle that you're using. It gets your tractor license plate number, and then it gets the trailer number from the front, the back, and the side. And then it sees whether it's sealed or not. And with all that information, and it looks at the trailer, the trailer plate as well. With all that information, it determines what load you're on, and then it will automatically assign you either a parking slip or a dock door that you need to go to, or a parking slip to go pick up from or drop off. Very nice system. Don't have to interact with anybody at all. The problem is that if you come too early to a place, Amazon only allows you to show up at their facilities 30 or 2 hours before your scheduled appointment time. Myself, I get 2 hours early all the time, so I'll show up with my drop or a trailer, and I will drop off the trailer, but I won't be able to pick up because I'm 2 hours early, and I have to converse with the guys at the AI gates.
Please, while we're connecting you with an agent.
Hello.
Can I get your load ID number starting with L1 for your dropout?
Yeah, hold on.
The dispatchers for Amazon are not the best. They do revise your schedule quite a bit, and one of the things that is ridiculous is that if you're early to things, they will revise your schedule so that they can get more work out of you. Now, I don't particularly like that because I feel that when I sign up for a piece of contracted work, I start from this time and I go till this time, and they have that work scheduled for me. And that's all that I should have to do to earn that contract amount. Now, they don't see it that way. They see it as that I'm their employee and they can just keep adding stuff on so that I can, move more packages and everything to keep their logistics up. Now, the reason why I don't like that is because one of the things about Amazon is that when you get a contract rate, you get a specific rate for that contract for every single block that you do. We'll say it's like $700. You do that $700 contract, and then they pay you fuel for that $700 contract. Now, When they add more stops than they initially give you, that contract rate doesn't go up. The only thing that changes about that contract rate is that they add more fuel surcharges onto your rate. So you're getting more for fuel, and that's it. That's why I have an issue with that. And they will literally change that schedule at the drop of a hat. Not too long ago, I was doing a load. I was going to get done 4 hours early, and I was literally heading outside of the thing, about ready to end my load or that contract for the night. I was literally driving through the AI gate, and they dropped 2 more stops on me. I was livid. I was absolutely livid. That kind of leads me into the next con about Amazon, is that they really don't care about you as the individual. They will claim all this marketing stuff, but they seriously do not care for you, or they don't care about you as the individual. They don't care about your business. They don't care about your bottom line. They don't care about nothing that has anything to do with you. They care about their bottom line. I kind of get it. They're a business. I'm a business, whatever, but they don't care about you at all. And one of the ways that you can tell that they don't care about you is that, here's an example, and I'll play a phone call that I've talked with an ROC representative for. One of the reasons why they don't care about you is that I got to a place and I delivered my trailer and I was early. I would say I was about an hour and a half early for my scheduled time being there. I get to the place, I talk to the yard marshal, he tells me to drop it off in a door. And then he tells me that he doesn't have an empty trailer ready. And I'm like, okay, when is it going to be ready? He's like, well, probably not before when you're supposed to depart. And I asked him he asked me what my departure time was. I told him, and he's like, I'm not going to have an empty trailer for you by the time that you depart, unfortunately. And I'm like, okay, that's no problem. I'll wait anyway or whatever, and I'll just see. So call up ROC, tell them, hey, like an hour and a half, 2 hours before I'm supposed to leave, I'll tell them, hey, this place is not going to have an empty trailer for me by the time that I need to depart. And they say, well, you need to wait.
Okay, sir, it's an empty trailer, sir.
I'm sorry, what?
It's an empty trailer. You have to pick an empty trailer at the site VUT2.
I understand that I have to pick an empty trailer at VUT2. I get that, but it's not going to be ready in time for me to depart. And they don't have one. And I can't
Okay,
change.
please. Okay. Mm-hmm.
I can't
No worries, sir.
change.
If any other entry is available,
I'm sorry, what?
sir. Okay, let me complete. Okay, at VUT2, it's a live unloading. Okay. After unloading, you have to pick the same trailer. I know you know it. You stated that it won't be ready until your departure time. I got it. If it's not ready also, please wait until your departure time and then give a callback request, sir.
Another thing that happens quite a bit to me, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. So that AI gate that I was talking about that makes your life so much easier, one of the things that they will do, no matter what, at a specific facility, is every time I leave, or I want to say 70% of the times that I leave, they ask for all of the information that they can see.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
I'm good, thank you. So the trailer is empty and loaded?
Yes, it's loaded.
Okay. Yeah, my time. So the trailer number is gonna be 002501894.
Yes.
Okay, may I know the load ID starting with 11?
116CFRGDS.
Okay. to do and have a good one.
So they will ask you for your tractor license plate number. They will ask you for your ID number to leave. They will ask you for what the trailer number is. They'll ask you if the trailer is loaded. They'll ask you all these questions. What the deal is that I know why they're doing it. It just takes up time. They're trying to double verify that everything is good, because I'm guessing that they probably had a number of issues from other drivers just taking random trailers because they didn't want to wait and they were frustrated and whatever, and they just left with random trailers. So that's one of the issues, I'm assuming, and they're trying to just double verify the information. But every single time I go to this one facility, it literally takes like 2 minutes to verify this information. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but when you consider that I go to this Amazon facility at least once to twice a day, that's 2 minutes once to twice a day, 5 times a week. So that's 10 minutes in one day. That's almost an hour of time by the end of the week. Alrighty, so we are at the final portion of the video, and this is where I say whether or not, like, you know, I'm going to continue doing Amazon Relay. Yes, I'm going to continue doing Amazon Relay. Like I mentioned earlier, I nearly doubled my income going this same amount of mileage. And I can book workout for a long time. And I can scale my business on that. And that's ultimately what I want to do. Now, that is my choice that I want to do. Now, it might not work for everyone. I will say that this is based on my experiences. All this stuff is based on my experiences with Amazon in my local area. So if you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, it might be completely different. If you're in Farmington, New Mexico, it might be completely different. Generally, I would say if you are wanting to do Amazon Relay, I would try to be closer to a major city. So for me, I'm really close to the major city of Utah, which is Salt Lake City. For Idaho, it would be Boise. For, you know, Seattle, it would be, that's Washington. It would be Seattle or Portland or Sacramento, Los Angeles, you know, big cities, right? That's where I would say that you should be around. So Oklahoma would be Oklahoma City. That's where you want to be generally located and close to. If you're in the rural suburb of some random you know, down some random highway, you're probably not going to want to do Amazon Relay because it's not going to work for you. Starting off, it's not going to work for you, obviously, because you need to have 6 months under your belt. If you guys want me to make a video of how I started off, I will make a video and I'll show you how I specifically started off and the companies that I use those, so that you guys can use the same companies. Because getting started in the trucking industry with a very fresh MC, like a 0-month MC, is very difficult. I understand that, but there are ways to do it. But I do generally believe that Amazon is for everyone. Like, small company, single tractor operation, in between 1 to 15 tractor operation, even to a very big company where you have above 15 tractors and trailers. It's for everyone. You literally can do any type of work with Amazon. There's always work to be done. It's just whether or not that it works for your bottom line or not. So that's the main thing that you need to consider when you are doing this, or when you're thinking about doing Amazon. And again, if you guys want me to make other videos on how I got started, how I know that it works for my bottom line, like the financial breakdown of things, obviously not concrete numbers, but like how you determine certain things, whether it's worth it for you or not, go ahead and put them down in the comments below. I really do appreciate everyone watching to the end of this video. I really do. I'm gonna try to do more content on here, not maybe of driving, but more of this side of things, the inside baseball kind of stuff, because one of the reasons why I stopped making videos is because with Amazon work, it's a lot of pickup trailer, go to facility, drop off trailer, pick up other trailer, go to facility. It's that over and over again. There's not really too much different. I'm not seeing different parts of the nation. I'm not necessarily experiencing random events like weather or, you know, whatever, right? I mean, I am, but it's very few and far between. I don't really want to do something like that. I mean, if you guys want me to, I will. Go ahead and put them down in the comments below. But yeah, for the foreseeable future, it's mostly inside baseball stuff. If you guys want to see a day-to-day on what I do, I will do a come along with work with me, and we'll see how it goes. But other than that, like, that is what it is. Again, thank you guys so much for watching till the very end. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And again, if you guys want to see other types of videos, put them down in the comments below. Other than that, I hope everyone is safe, and I'll see you on the next one.